Hello and welcome, my friends, to Make With Me Monday. It's Monday. On Mondays, we make things. Today is Make With Me Monday. My name is Robin French-Smith. I am one of the co-owners of Bath Fizz and Foam, and we teach you how to make the stuff that you see in the store so that, come on, not only is it better, it's better, you know? Today we're going to make shower bombs. Shower bombs are, here's some of our shower bombs. I'll open this at the end and show you what they're like. But our shower bombs, it's not a shower steamer. Last week we did shower steamers. Kathy says, hi everyone. Hi Kathy. Last week we did shower steamers, which is they have menthol, you put them in the shower, they make like the vapor come up in your, it smells good. A shower bomb is intended to be used on your skin. It's exfoliating, so you can scrub your skin directly with it. You can crush this. My favorite thing to do is like crush them, and it makes this like really beautiful foam, like mousse-like foam, and then use that, and it's cleansing. They're awesome. Lush sells them. If you're a maker, we like started selling these like crazy, so I'm not sure why, but like we started selling these like crazy, and I've had to ask people a few times, like, you know what it is, right? And they're like, yeah, I know. So you customers know. They know what it is. All right. So I need a bowl. Why am I doing this stuff by hand when I have a stand mixer? Hold on. Okay, what? I'm sorry. Okay. All right, I was thinking that I was going to make these. So this is the mold I'm using today. It's a breakaway mold. This is from Chunkadust. What's cool about it is once it's like formed, it'll come to the customer as like a solid flower looking thing, and then they'll be able to break it and use it. I was going to use a different color, then I decided to use not that color. Now I'm deciding to use that color again. And that color is royal blue. This is one of the lakes from Scandalous Soap, my other company. This is one of our newer lakes, and she just hasn't been getting a lot of love, and I think it's because you don't see the potential in her. Maybe I should have called it Sapphire. You know, names sell things. Names sell things. So we'll think about that. But let's get started. So this is from our ebook that is called right here. Hold on, let me show you. Wait, no, go away. This is from our ebook, Shower Bombs. That's on our bath site. It is on our bath site. So it's on our website. So if you're interested in buying the recipe, you can find it there. If you're not interested in it, that's also fine. You just hang out with me and learn how to make things. I've already measured all the ingredients except 2. And I'll show you why in just a minute. Kathy says it's a beautiful blue. Thank you. I think so too. And Nancy says royal sapphire. Oh, hey, we could transition her. Okay, so this is baking soda. So I'm going to start off with baking soda. And you do want to use like a digital scale if you're using a scale. We don't have the measurements in like cups and tablespoons and stuff because it's not very accurate. I'm just sifting this baking soda, and I'll show you why. So you see all those little crumbles? Yeah. Sift your baking soda. You can thank me later. All right, so that is my baking soda. Hold on. I laid this out on the thing, and I was like, I'm not going to remember what's what. Okay, the second ingredient is in the recipe is SLSA, which is a really fine surfactant powder. It's not going to irritate your skin. It's not the same thing as SLS. Very gentle. However, this is SCI, which is sodium oxyl isothianate, which is an even more gentle version surfactant. Okay, and I'm going to put that in there. And part of the reason I use substitutions from sometimes is that I want you guys to know that you don't have to follow the recipe exactly. Now, if you're having trouble with the recipe, is water. Are you proud of me? If you're having trouble with the recipe and you come to our website, our Facebook support group, gee, oh my Lord, the first thing I will ask is if you've made any modifications. But that's not because you're in trouble for doing that. It's just because it helps me like understand the playing field. You know, I got to see what's going on so I can help you. All right, so that was SCI. Next, we have cream of tartar. This is a slightly acidic, it helps harden bath bombs and shower steamers and shower bombs. Okay, and a little bit goes a long way. It's just like a really nice addition to pretty much any type of like fizzy, effervescent shower bath product. So even in my cream of tartar, you can see those little balls rolling around, those little crumbles. So I do sift pretty much everything, and that's part of the reason why. Like, you're gonna have less things happening, like warts and stuff that pop up. So it's just a good idea. Cornstarch. This is a really nice, it's a skin softening agent. It's a water softener. It's really nice. It does help make your bath bombs or shower steamers or shower bombs a little bit harder. Okay. And it's sometimes called a filler, which is like rude. Okay. It's got a job. It's not just there to be a placeholder. Okay. It's got a job. All right. Next we have clay, and I use a different sifter for my clay because it takes forever to sift it through the fine mesh one. Clay, not only is it really nice on your skin, but also it helps the fragrance hold on a lot longer, crumbles. So if you're having trouble with your fragrances staying in your products, you might consider adding some clay to them if you're not already doing that. And this ingredient is the important one. This is the one that takes it from being a bath bomb to being something else, which is a shower bomb. So sodium alginate is I got mine from Amazon. It is a vegan, non-GMO, and kosher. It creates foam. So it's like it's a thing, okay? It's a natural gel maker. So it creates foam. Now, I have also been able to substitute that for guar gum. And my guess is you could probably substitute it for probably a carrageenan, if I had to guess. Probably also like xanthan gum. Now, I haven't tested xanthan gum. I haven't tested a carrageenan. But I have tested guar gum as a substitute for sodium alginate. And I do think that the sodium alginate is like, it's like, they're like this. They're like so close. Like, probably only I can tell the difference because you know what I'm saying? Because like I know this recipe, like know it. Nobody else is gonna be able to tell the difference. Okay, so if you can't find sodium alginate or it's like way too expensive, just go with guar gum. That'll work for you. Okay, that'll work. It'll work. All right, I'm gonna put that in there. We also have our liquid ingredients, which is going to include. You don't go there. You go there. Cocoa butter. I am using cocoa butter today because I have it. If it's too expensive, because it is very expensive right now, you can substitute it. Probably with any oil of your choice, honestly. The butter or oil is not what makes your bath bomb hard. Okay, so you can substitute this if you don't have, you want to use mango butter, you want to use shea butter, you want to just use avocado oil, right? You can substitute this. So I'm gonna put it in the microwave and melt it. Generally takes 2 minutes in my microwave. Liz says, hello there, everyone. Hello, Liz. So while we wait for this to melt, let me tell you, next week I will be in Reno for the HSCG, Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild conference. So I'm a volunteer there. So I help this other speakers who I'm speaking one session, but also the other speakers that are there, helping them, get their stuff set up, making sure they have everything they need, kind of doing all the behind the scenes things with all the other volunteers. It's very cool. We have a bath fizz and foam breakfast that we're going to have on the last day. So if you're in our Facebook group or if you're coming to the conference and you're just like, I just want to be in here, I just want to come to your breakfast, you can come. Okay. Just come to the breakfast. This is going to be fun. I'm going to have some giveaways for people. Okay. It's going to be fun. Also, I'm going to be on a panel to tell you, like a maker's panel, and be like, I'm an expert. Let me tell you why. Drop knowledge on you. So I will not be in town. We will not be doing a Make With Me Monday. I have some videos for Patreon that I have scheduled so that Patreon has some content during that time. But there's not going to be any live streams during that time. I have learned that hotel Wi-Fi is the literal worst. It's the literal worst. Like, it's so bad. So, yeah, I've given up trying to be like, I'm going to live stream this to you guys. It's not going to happen. I already know. Like, I already know it's not going to happen, even if I tried. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted to do. This was what I wanted to do. Okay, so I'm going to take my cocoa butter and cleaned my shop up, and then, like, I don't know where stuff is. Okay, cocoa butter. I have polysorbate 80. This is an emulsifier. It's going to help the oil and stuff spread. It also creates its own kind of like foaming, bubbling action itself. So it's a very nice ingredient to include. It's very safe. I've read many, you know what I do for you guys? I go read all the scientific journals and the scientific publications, and I read all the tests that they do on ingredients. And I read about all the poor bunnies and I read about that. So you don't have to, okay? But you can if you want to. You should always at least be able to find the source. Okay. And then this is avocado oil. That's more than the recipe called for, but it seemed like a good idea at the time. All right. Now we have mostly everything that we need. We need to add our fragrance oil. I'm going to be using a little fragrance I like to call Windjammer. And the reason I'm using this, if you've been around here for a minute, like, I'm using this, but I'm using it because I bought a ton of it for Freshies. It worked in Freshies. I bought a ton of it for Freshies, and then only the sweet baby Jesus in heaven knows why it stopped working in their Freshie beads. And we tried it from a different supplier, and that one didn't work. We tried different Freshie beads. We tried a whole bunch of different Freshie beads. It just stopped working. So I I don't know. Anyway, I have a ton of it now. So any of these kind of things where it's like I'm trying to use it up, we're gonna use Windjammer in that. Okay. So I have my powdered ingredients here, with the exception of my citric acid. We're going to talk about that in a second. And I have my liquid ingredients. Just going to pour these two together. Fear not, okay? Nothing in this cup that's currently in that cup is going to make your bath bombs activate, or your shower steamers, or your shower bombs, okay? Oil won't make them activate. A butter won't make them activate. An emulsifier generally won't make them activate. Okay. So nothing in that cup is going to make them activate. Even if I had my citric acid in here, which I didn't have it in here, right? But even if I had it in here, none of those ingredients are going to make my bath bomb, shower steamer, shower bomb activate. I breathed it in and it tastes like Windjammer. I breathed it in and it tastes like Windjammer. Okay. Jenny says, you're glad you're able to catch my live. I'm glad that you're able to catch it too. Yeah, so if you're new here, hi. We've been transitioning from being on Facebook to being on YouTube Live. It is a bit of a transition and a difference and stuff like that. So whatever, it's fine. But I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad we have a platform that's not like, hey, I'm gonna delete all your content so that anyway, I'm not gonna go into it, okay? Tastes just like soap. I love it. Okay, if you're making shower steamer bomb bath bombs by hand, I normally wouldn't take that glove off, but I'm about to reach into here and I don't want to contaminate this color, okay? If you're making them by hand, then I suggest adding your colorant now, at this point, when you've added your powdered ingredients and your liquid ingredients together before you've added your citric acid. I suggest adding your colorant now. This is how you're going to get perfect colors on your products. You're not going to get little speckles and spots, okay? Don't put it in with your, look, I've done it. Look. I'm telling you, okay? Because I've done it all. Don't put it in your oils. That doesn't work. You're going to get little spiky spots. Don't put it in afterwards. You can put it in afterwards, but it's harder by hand to mix it in, okay? Don't put it in with your powdered ingredients. I'm telling you, I've done it. You're going to get the spiky spots, okay? Do it at this point. Or do what you want. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, okay? I'm just going to make some helpful suggestions. Okay, that's very too much, maybe. All right, we're just going to do an arbitrary chopstick scoop of this royal blue color. This is my life right now. Everything I touch is blue. Okay, wait, also, Keelan says, dang Windjammer. I literally have a bag over there that has like a tiny, tiny bit of Windjammer in it. And I think at this point, I'm just keeping it as residue from the timeline shift. Okay? It's residue from the timeline shift, from the timeline long time ago, okay, when Windjammer worked in Freshy Beads, and I don't know why. I don't know why it changed. So I want to take this colorant I'm going to make sure I'm squishing it between my hands so that I'm getting it all the way mixed in. I'm also taking it as I go and reach in there, and I'm like crumbling it. There's like a specific wrist type of turn that I do. I don't typically like to make stuff by hand, this much by hand. Like I like to use my mixer, stand mixer. But I also don't want you to think that you have to have a stand mixer. You don't. Okay? You don't have to have a stand mixer. You could also just do, this is like a really pretty like periwinkle. Like, look at that. It's like a denim. It's like a really good denim. So yeah, you don't have to have a stand mixer. It does make things easier. And I think it was last week where I was like, screw it, I'm grabbing my stand mixer. But that's because I had more mix, or there was something else. I don't know what. Oh, there's menthol in it. I just don't like to touch menthol. It's like, ugh. Honestly. So you have the shower steamers, the shower soothers, and I also have some little pedicure foot balms that I made like the week before with Patreon. There's so many minty things in my shop right now. Like when you come in here, your eyes just start watering because I need to go onto Amazon. I meant to do it before the live actually. I need to go onto Amazon and get some more organza bags so I can package those puppies. Because it's a really clearing out your sinuses type of sensation, okay? All right, now before I got to this point, I probably should have done the thing that we're about to do. But it's okay. Because we're going to do it, and it's going to be fine. Why didn't I do that earlier? I don't know. Okay. So, the next ingredient that we need is citric acid. Can't have a fizzy reaction without our citric acid, right? Here's the deal. In the shower balm recipe, I have found that, because people have said before, like, hey, it's a little crumbly, it's a little dusty, like, is there a way to make it, like, should I add more citric acid? You could add more citric acid, but we don't want this to be too, like, harsh on the skin. So what I have found is that if you grind your citric acid, it makes these hold together a lot better, and it makes them hold together a lot better. I don't have an and for that. You don't have to do it, but I have found that it helps tremendously. And I just use a regular little old coffee grinder. This one I got from Amazon ages ago. Okay. So you can just use a little old coffee grinder. Now, don't use your coffee grinder that's in your kitchen, because your spouse could probably get upset about it, justifiably so. But like, just buy one. It's be a dedicated grinder for cosmetic things. And yeah, so I'm adding more than I need, and then I'll put any extra in here, and then I just use that. I use that for a few different things. There's a few different things that I like to use ground citric acid for. One of them is for the Bubble Magic. One of them is for the Bubble Magic recipe. Shower bombs. I can't think of I feel like there's like a couple more that I do use it for, but like I don't use it a ton. So it's not like 100%, like you don't have to get it, but it is a good idea. It's like smoking. It's like the stuff from this is smoking. And I saw Marie Rama, like, I want to say 2 years ago, she put a piece. This is like the stuff where it's like you learn something and you didn't know that you were going to learn something. I was at conference and I saw her put a piece of plastic wrap over the thing before she started the grinding, and then when she opened it up, it didn't go in a big cloud in her face like it's about to do. with me. See that? Generally, that's why I said I probably should have done this earlier. Generally, I like do this earlier in the process so all that dust in there has time to calm down. Calmate. Calm down. Okay? There's nothing like a fresh steaming cup of citric acid in the morning. Do you agree? Thank you. So I'm going to put that in here. So I have this now for next time when I need citric acid, ground citric acid for something else. And I just kind of always keep a little bit of this on hand because ideally I don't like to have to grind it. I like to grind like a whole bunch at one time and then I just have it. Right. Okay. So I'm going to come over here to my scale, put this on here. I should probably put it into one of these little things first, but why? All right, I'm just going to do it straight on in there. And this is just making like, okay, so think about the cream of tartar. So usually when I'm teaching bath bomb making, one of the things I say is like the cream of tartar is really small and it's able to get in there in the cracks between the baking soda and the citric acid. So those are kind of big, right? And then the cream of tartar is like little and it gets in there. It kind of acts like mortar, right? So this is the same concept. By making it smaller, we're giving it more surface area to combine with. Okay. And I'm just going to mix that up. And we're almost ready to go. What time is it? Can't be that long. I don't know. Oh, 27 minutes. Okay, that's not bad. If you weren't talking and stuff and like distracted, it wouldn't take you that long. So it's almost ready to go. With the exception of, I'm going to start doing this. Wanted to kind of bind together. Now, I believe that in the ebook, it was one of our first ebooks that we published. So like the older an ebook is, the more not errors, the more we know about it now. Okay, thank you. So I believe in the ebook that one of the things it says is to add binder if you feel like you need to add binder. I believe it says if you feel like it needs binder, then to add it. So I talked when I did the bath bombs, I showed you about a drop test. You take a piece, you lift it, you drop it, you squeeze it, right? So this will pass the drop test. However, it's probably that extra oil I added. However, you still need binder. Okay, binder is going to make it bind together. Okay, I'm going to use water. It's the best binder in my opinion. Okay, if you're just starting out, you could probably, like you'll learn, like the way I was like, oh, this is a 5 spray day. Okay, you'll know, you're like, okay, this needs more binder, this needs less. Those 3 to 4 sprays that I typically use in a batch this size is equivalent to about 3 or 4 grams, 3 to 5 grams maybe. So it's really small amount. I think people get really nervous that it's going to make their bath bombs activate, and it will. It will. I actually want that to happen. We want the reaction to get started, and then we want to pause it. So, all right. She looks good to me. I've never tried this mold. I've had it a really long time. I've never tried it. I've wanted to do breakaway molds for shower bombs for a while, but I've been doing like the one in a package that I had that I don't know where I did with it. That one, like this. Okay, I've been doing it like this. These are like 2 ounces each, something like that. So I've been doing them like that for a while, but I've been wanting to do them as a breakaway. So we're gonna see how this does. The bottom piece has this like really deeply grooved area, and then the top piece has this kind of curved area. The idea is that it will be very easy for your customers to break that piece off and then use it themselves. So we're going to see if it works with this. If it doesn't work with this, that's okay. It might not be the mold, okay? In this instance, it probably isn't the mold, because Chunkadust is really, their molds are really, really good. Sometimes people will be having problems with their bath bombs, and I'm like, can you show me a picture? That might be too thin. I might need to add more. Oh, you know what? I used my whacking spoon to make blue lakes. Oh wait, found the spare. This may break apart though, because I don't have like, that is not very thick. It should probably be thicker. That's 106 grams though. So let's see. So I'm going to unmold the back. But so sometimes people will say like I'm having problems with my bath bombs or my whatever, and sometimes it is the mold. Okay, sometimes it is the mold. You see how cleanly that picked up? Oh my god, that was kind of sexy. Okay, I'm gonna pop it up just a tiny bit, although it's probably not necessary with this mold. I'm just gonna flip it over. Actually, this might be perfect. I don't know. Okay, look. Okay. That does look pretty good. It is underfilled right there. So that one's a little crackly. So it is a little underfilled. How much is 100 grams? 3.5 ounces. Okay, I can make these bigger. But see? See how the customer experience would be? They just snap it off, use what they need, put the rest back in the shower. The reason I like this for shower bombs is that, yes, you can take the entire shower bomb into the shower with you. You can use it. Then when you're done using it, you can take it out of the shower and it will eventually stop activating. And then the next time you want to use it, you can reactivate it. I do think that second time around, while it does work, it's not generally like as fizzy. Like it doesn't have quite the same oomph, you know? So I do think that having the ability to use a smaller amount is really not, important in my opinion. Okay. All right. I just going to do this again because that was like so sexy. Hold on. Ma'am, I am married. Oh my God. She's so sexy. Okay, sorry, darling. I might have to get remarried again. Okay. I'm just going to pop that up just a little. Usually I do that because it makes this part, lifting this part up a little easier, but this one is smooth. It slides. She's good. It's a good one. Okay. It's a good one. That's good. Okay, so I weighed that to 5.6 ounces. After, you kind of lose a little bit of the crumbles on the side, it's at 5.55 ounces. After it cures, it'll probably be around 5.5 ounces or 158 grams. Okay, ish. All right. So now we got it. Now we know. Now we know the size that we like for this. We know what else we can do. So we've answered all the questions that we could possibly have. There's nothing left to do. Although, okay, so if you're in Patreon, come to Patreon today. We're going to be I'm going to be experimenting with some jelly bath bombs. Have you heard of them? Lush did them like a long time ago. Lush had them, then they took them away. They say they're jelly bath bombs, but they're not like jelly. Okay, they're still like a solid bath bomb. They fizz, they foam. When you put it in the water, it creates like the foam is like wiggly and like you can kind of pat it and then it'll like disperse, but it has like an extra thick kind of bouncy type of foam with it. And I'm gonna be testing the different recipes that I'm thinking of for it. I'm gonna be testing Oregon. I'm gonna be testing the sodium alginate, and I'm also gonna be testing whatever it is that I have up there. It's probably xanthan gum, if I had to guess. I've also been doing some testing with our jelly soap in general. Our jelly soap recipe is very good. I very like it. I like it bigly. Okay. It's one of the bigliest. But the cineresis on one particular, like the cineresis is like the water that comes out of it, and it's normal. You can't stop it from happening. Every gel does this. When you open your container of sour cream and there's like water inside of it, or when you go to squeeze ketchup and there's like that watery layer on the top of it, that's cineresis. Okay, you just can't stop it from happening, but you can reduce it. And so that's what my goal is to kind of reduce that a little bit. And I have modified the I've talked about this in Patreon a few different times, but I've modified the firm bars, because we have two versions in our ebook. We have like the wiggly jiggly bars, and then we have the firmer, just kind of more firm. I'll show you in a second. So I've modified the firm bars and have reduced the cineresis significantly on those. Like, I say you can't not have it, but maybe you can't not have it, but I cannot have it. Okay, anyway, and I have talked with Patreon about the modifications that I made, but I also wanted to make some modifications to see if I can make the wiggly bars have that kind of same performance. This last one's going to be shorter, smaller than the other two. It's fine. All the Make With Me Monday stuff is typically something that gets destashed through the Scandalous Soap website. Like 90% of the time, it's something that I destash, or just use it for personal use, or just give it to my family. Just whatever. Take it. You'll like it. So yeah. So I have a couple versions. It was fun. I got one of my kids in here to help me make stuff. My 16-year-old child, my baby child, who now his dad bought him a truck. So he's out there driving, running around in the world doing things. You never think about your mother. Anyway, it's very terrifying. I'm sure if you're a parent or an aunt or a grandparent and you have these young people driving around, you know what I'm talking about when you say it. And it's a little bit scary to see this happen. Oh, that one's actually not even too much shorter than the other two. Anyway, younger kid and I worked on this a little bit, and here is one of them, and there's no leaky leak happening with it. This is like totally aside. This is what I was gonna do. This is what I am doing with Patreon, but This is the firm bar, and I have them in here, and you can see there's like no liquid like sloshing around. There's like, it's a little bit wet, right? There's no liquid sloshing around. I made these a while back. Thank you. These are the wiggly bars, and you can see it's not too bad, actually. I mean, honestly, all things considered, it's not too bad. It doesn't like ooze out the side and stuff. But these are the wiggly bars. These are like bunnies inside of them that I made for Easter. So these are the wiggly bars, and I just have some modification. I just want to test something. So it's possible that after we finish the jelly bath bombs in Patreon, that I might also do one round of this just to kind of see. My blue fingers. Look, if I went to the hospital right now, they'd be like so concerned for me. Anyway, I will leave links in the description where you can find this mold, which was fantastic. Oh, I stabbed myself with something. This mold, which was fantastic. This colorant is like perfect blue denim, blue jean color. So good. The recipe, my short, the hair cap thing, if I can remember to find it. And any other questions I might have seen during the live stream, and I'm not sure why, but the comments aren't show. The chat from the live isn't showing up in the thing afterwards. I don't know. There's a few things I'm thinking about trying to fix it. I don't know. At least it's not going to get deleted, okay? Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and as always, happy making. Oh, like and subscribe. I'm supposed to tell you to like and subscribe. Apparently that's an important thing. Like and subscribe. Even if you don't like it, you can subscribe. That way you can have something to be angry about. Right? If you're in Patreon, come to Patreon at 2 o'clock. We're going to start the next thing. Love you. Bye.